But let's now talk about the cues that you should watch as we get into this trading session. Our research team is here with the trade setup. Ekta, Mangalam and Surbi all join us now to take you through exactly that. Guys, a very good morning to all of you. Ekta, let me come to you first. Take us through everything we should watch today. We saw quite a ton of events in the second half of trade yesterday, but take us through everything we should track this morning.
Thanks for that. Well, yes, absolutely. You know, this late sell-off that we saw yesterday really pushed the Sensex and the Nifty to give up all of the early gains that we had seen. So the Nifty closed below 18,300 in yesterday's trading session. You've already spoken about it, but it is the impasse over the debt ceiling, the US CPI data, which will be key cues to monitor and something that is probably giving the markets a bit of jitters. So the markets did give up gains yesterday, but FIIs continue to be positive as they have been for multiple sessions now. So FIIs net bought around 1942 odd crores in yesterday's trading session. US markets ended lower on the back of concerns with regards to the impasse, with regards to the debt ceiling, as well as the US CPI data, which is due today. Asia is largely in the red at this point in time. The SGX, however, is indicating a positive start, possibly because of the kind of underlying strength that we've seen for our markets, irrespective of the global volatility. Brent crude, $77 per barrel, so there was a marginal move which took place on Brent crude. A lot of result reactions: Apollo Tyres, Lupin, Castrol, Everready, JM Financial, Nazara Technologies. A lot of results today as well. The big boys would be Dr. Reddy's and Larsen & Toubro. Besides that, the likes of Bosch, Godrej Consumer, Escorts, Kubota. Just keep your eye out in terms of what's taking place on the political front, considering that we do have the Karnataka Assembly elections today. The outcome will be known on the 13th of May.
All right, that is everything that we're tracking from a market's point of view. Ekta, thanks a lot for that. Let's also talk about the individual names that you should watch in today's session. Like Ekta said, it's going to be a lot about the earnings. So we have Surbi with the entire list. Hi, Surbi.
Thanks so much for that. So first up on my radar is Birla Corp. The numbers were better than expected. The revenue came in at 2462 odd crores. The EBITDA came in at 274 crores versus a poll of 252 crores. Sorry. The margins came in at 11% and net profit came in at 85 crores. Nazara Tech, again a very strong set of numbers. The revenue was up 65%. EBITDA came in at 27 crores and margins came in at 9.4%, 200 basis points higher than same time last year. Hudson Agro, the revenue was up 10%, but the margins were muted because of dairy inflation. Margins came in at 8.8% versus 9.8%. Castrol India, the revenue was up 5%. The EBITDA was down 7%. Margins came in at 23% versus 26% same time last year. Apollo Tyres, the revenue was up 12%. EBITDA was up 59% and margin came in at 16% versus 11%. And Five Star Business, a strong all-round performance. The disbursements were up 72%. And the AUM was up 37% on a year-on-year basis.
Okay, that is a long list of stocks and earnings. Surbi, thanks a lot for that. Let's also talk about all of the cues from the futures and options space. Mangalam, like we've been mentioning, the last hour really saw that big dip come through. But what should we track this morning?
Yes, the last hour yesterday saw a bit of a dip come through, and that was perhaps on account of the Fin Nifty expiry, because if you just take a look at the call writing and the levels from which the Nifty Financial Services turned, that would suddenly start to make sense. The other thing that is supporting us, and the theory that suggests that maybe the decline could largely be on account of the weekly options expiry, was the fact that FIs and DIs are constantly buying in the cash market. For 2 days in a row, the institutional flows have been around 2350 odd crores. The previous trading session, the Nifty moved around 196 points. So that's telling you that, a larger part of this action is FNO related. And in index futures, the FI sold about 500 odd crores and they added about 5,700 short contracts. What does this mean? 48% of their exposure is on the long side, 52% on the short side. But what has happened is that after the Nifty saw a bit of a decline from that 17,350 level, we have seen a lot of call writers extremely active. 18,350 has seen 50 lakh shares being added for a premium of 30, telling you that, 18,350 to 18,420 odd could face some sort of congestion. However, put writers at 18,300 continue to hold their positions at 12.5 lakh shares. Open interest added yesterday with a premium of 71, telling you that 18,200 to 18,220 may be a bit of support. So what does this basically mean is that the Nifty support has moved higher from 18,000 to 18,100 and now as we speak around 18,200, but the congestion remains between 18,350 to 18,400. Why is it that there is congestion? Because the Nifty Bank is facing a fair amount of supply at its record high levels. which is about 2.2% away from its fresh record high. Yesterday, it at one point went as close as 1.4% away from its record high. And today is the mid-caps which will be in focus because it's the mid-cap index weekly options expiry.
All right, that is everything that we're going to track. Mangalam, thanks a lot for taking us through all of those cues. With that, it is time for a break on the show. Our first one here, but when we return, there are a whole host of updates that we have to bring you up to speed with in terms of what's going on with the aviation space. Stay tuned for that.